I would like to call upon Niranjan. He's an Agile coach at Excel Plus Services. Yeah. So handing over to Niranjan.
Thank you. Okay, good afternoon. So, hope you are able to hear my voice?
Yes.
Okay, so hope all of you had a good lunch. So it's always difficult to keep you busy after lunch. Okay? Okay, so let's get into the main discussion. Okay. I welcome you all for this talk. The topic of this discussion is how will I move the cheese as a leader for enterprise agility. So my quick introduction, my name is Niranjan. So who don't know me about me much. So I am a founder, chief consultant, coach, trainer of Excel Plus Services. Okay, so the agenda goes like this. So first I will give a quick introduction about the characters in a fable who moved my cheese. Because it has a lot of link to the enterprise agility. And I am going to talk about what kind of agile leadership in 21st century. Okay. So quick discussion about that. And main topic of my discussion is for enterprise agility, how will I move my cheese as an agile leader? So when it comes to the enterprise agility, what is an agile leader supposed to do? How does he goes about moving his cheese? Okay. Okay. So then we have some time for question and answer. Okay. So let me ask you, how many have you read this book? Okay. So in this book, there are 4 characters. The two characters are mice. They're called Sniff and Scurry. And there are 2 characters of people, like humans, the Ham and Haw. So this book is about all these people. Every day they live in a maze. Okay? And what they do is every day when they get up morning, they go keep going to find their cheese. And once they find the cheese, they start eating it, and it talks about when the cheese gets over, how each person is going to act for wins. Okay? And whereas the scurry and the snake, who are the mice, they are quick in action, they don't think much. Okay? And whereas Ham and all their people, you know humans, we always think a lot before acting. So they plan, deliberate, take some time to act. So whereas when the cheese gets over, these mice sniff and the scurry, they don't worry too much about the cheese got over, and they start going and finding the cheese in a different direction. They start going in a maze to find a new cheese. Whereas Ham and Haw stays there in the same place when the cheese gets over, and they think that somebody will bring back the cheese, and it's not going to happen at all because cheese is already over. And especially Ham is always, is traditional thinker. He plans too much, but he doesn't want to take risks in his life. So he always has a lot of fear that if I go out of my local place, if I start going in different places in the maze, it's too dangerous. So he's always unable to take risks, and he is not ready to change when things are things are supposed to be changed. He is not ready to take action. Whereas the Haw he realizes after some time, oh, now the cheese is over. So but he's always pulled down by Ham. Come on, don't worry, the cheese will come to us one day. So, but after some time, Haw realizes that there's no point in staying in the same place. I think I should act. So he realizes and starts finding out for a new cheese, so he starts going out in a maze. And the Ham is the guy who always remains in the same place, who does not want to change. And he almost becomes an extinct. Okay? So the main message of this book is change is supposed to happen every time. Change is a way of life. And one who is quick in adapting to the change is the person who is going to survive. So it's nothing like resisting the change. Change is always there. But how we quickly adapt to the changes is the something, So here the cheese is a metaphor, what we want in our life. So it could be like job, successful job, it could be a successful marriage, it could be a work or a culture like that. So with this as a basic message, so when I'm going to talk here in this topic is our cheese is our enterprise agility transformation. So how an agile leader moves his cheese for enterprise agility. Okay? So there are 4 leading characters. So who is we is very important. Like example, Sniff. Okay. Sniff is the guy who always anticipates change. So what he does is when the cheese is getting over, he starts realizing, okay, one day this cheese is going to get over. So I have to start looking for new cheese. So he always anticipates change and is ready for the change. Whereas Scurry is mice. Again, he doesn't think too much. Always get into action. When cheese is got over, when cheese gets over, immediately starts looking for new cheese elsewhere. So he doesn't think too much. Whereas Ham and Ha, as I said, they're human. So they always discuss, deliberate, contemplate, rather than taking action. Okay, so they take time to make up their mind. So what happens is that if we start delaying, if we become Ham and Ha in our organization during the transformation, someone else will go on doing. Okay, so with that, the author, the Spencer Johnson says, what you're afraid of is never as bad as what you imagine. Okay? The fear you let build up in your mind is worse than the situation that actually exists. So many times, as agile leaders, we are more worried about how we are going to act, rather than the reality is not so serious, but the fear in the mind is something which carries a big hurdle. Okay, so what it means is that Robert Anderson in his Mastering Leadership says, unless leaders do their development work, they are not likely to transfer, they are not likely to create business transformation. So business don't transform, people do. So what it means is, before any transformation happens, especially at enterprise level, it's a large scale enterprise transformation. First, leaders have to develop themselves. So they have to focus on their development first. So when the leaders are not focusing on their development, they will not be able to lead the change. So they can't expect everything to be done by their teams or something else. So first, the leaders have to focus more on the development, okay, for themselves. So if you look at the 10th state of Agile report from version 1, 2001-16, it talks about 3 barriers for Agile adoption. One is the company culture, thoughts, the Agile values, which contributes to 46%. And there is organizational resistance to change, contributes to 42%. And management concerns about loss of control contributes 38%. So these are some of the top 3 barriers of Agile adoption. And if you look at all these things, it's more on change, culture, and management. The style of management, how management leads the transformation. Okay. So when we talk about Agile leadership, what is that? What is the meaning of Agile leadership? So one side we have the word of Agile, and other side we have word of leadership. Okay. So when any organization, if they want to be agile, they need a right kind of leadership. Okay. So the leadership has to be agile. So leadership should show the agility in their leadership style. So then only such organizations can be agile. Okay. So that is most. So what is that we are focusing is the world of agile leadership, where all the leaders are exhibiting agile behaviors. Okay. So agility in their leadership style. So the main portion of my talk is how an agile leader becomes an agile when leading an enterprise agility. So today the world is changing fast. Okay? So because of fast changing world, there is a high demand on the leaders. Okay? So these are the 6 dimensions of agility, of leadership agility. So if organization has to be agile, so what is the meaning of organizational agility? So how do we define organizational agility? Is like this. If an organization is able to respond to the markets with high level of turbulence, if the business is able to respond to the high level, in spite of high level of turbulence, then we can call such organizations as they have a very good organizational agility. But if when to have an effective organizational agility, there should be leadership agility. So leaders have to show their leadership, exhibit their leadership style in an agile manner. So if we have a traditional leadership style like hierarchical, too much of centralized control, it's not going to help to achieve the organizational agility. Okay. So one of the mechanisms of ensuring the leadership agility is providing a transformational leadership. So this is one of the thing that is talked about in the 21st century. So this is a kind of leadership exhibited in the current situation where the leadership has to be transformation. So I'll talk about more about what is the meaning of transformational leadership. But so this is one thing, the leaders who are leading the organization for enterprise agility have to provide the transformational leadership. So how agile leaders can move their cheese? So one of the ways of how the agile leaders can move is they start incubating transformation leaders. Okay. So you know the meaning of incubating transformation leaders? Incubation, right? So the bird sits on the egg at the right time. Okay. So till then the egg has to be maintained. So the transformational leadership cannot happen in a single shot. It cannot happen immediately. So, as agile leaders, they have to start preparing the organization till to some stage. Then only the transformation can start happening. So, for that, the leaders have to go fast. They have to start leading top down. So, many times, what is happening in the transformation is that the leaders expect it's a bottom-up approach. So, let agile work from bottom and it's rolled up to the top. But what is that I am going to say is it's reverse. What I am going to say is first leaders have to lead first. Okay. So especially for the enterprise agility, maybe it can work at the team level. The agility can happen from team to the top. But when you talk about enterprise, the leaders are the guys who are to lead first. So they have to live the values, lead by example, seek truly understand their culture. So that means, see, any transformation cannot happen if the leaders are not able to understand their culture. First, they should spend a lot of time in understanding the culture of the organization. Only when they understand the culture, they undergo a lot of sufferings. Okay, what works, what doesn't work, what are the challenges. When they become so much immersed and when they undergo so much suffering, that is sort of a ready state. Such leaders will be able to take the transformation more effectively. If they have not understood the the culture, if they have not understood the culture, straight away any transformation like there are, you have seen some organizations without understanding culture, like they are expect not from, okay, you give us some standard recipe how to do agile transformation. Okay, you give some agile coaches. So agile coaches will take care of the agile transformation. Okay, so that's not going to happen. So all agile coaches cannot go and transform the organization and make enterprise agility. So actually, the enterprise agility will happen only through the leaders. The leaders for the organization, they have to be able to lead the organization. Coaches or any sort of training, they're all just a sort of a enabler, sort of a supporting thing. But the main the responsibility has to be from the leaders. They have to lead top-down approach. So, yeah, I'll tell you. So there is a company called IDEO. So, I've heard of this company. So IDEO is one of the innovation. They produce the product. It is a design company. We produce the product. As innovative as possible. And it is this company. They create almost 90 to 20 products per year, and all these products are very innovative. And they got a award that one of the best innovation companies in the US. Okay? And they were given a challenge that to produce a shopping cart which is completely innovative, and they were given a challenge to do everything within 5 days. So they had to create a complete shopping cart product within 5 days. Okay, and what this company does is that they don't worry about what kind of product they're going to create. The product could be they even they created how we hold the brush, so with the new design, so it gives grip, and they don't worry about what kind of product they're going to create. Like it could be brush, it could be some motorbike, or it could be even a phone. But the process and culture, what they believe is the culture and process, what they have in the organization is important. So they have, in fact, in the 5 days, they created the whole product, because when you have the right culture and the process, then the sustainability will be there. So when I talk about truly understanding the culture, means the leaders who are representing the organization, they should see that everyone is aware of the culture, and the culture has to be sustainable. If process is there and the culture is there, then it will be more sustainable rather than focusing too much on product. So today, what's happening is leaders, they focus too much on operational things, too much on the outcome of the product. So what I'm saying is, don't worry too much about operational things, but start building the culture, and if you have a right process and right culture, so that will help you to create. Okay? So that is something which is very important here. So Lindog is one of the Agile consulting company, and they have a lot of recommendations of how Agile can be led from top down, how executives and leadership live in Agile. Okay? So what we have to think first is that when we are embarking on the transformation, or let us say we are in the middle of the journey. See, many times, we always think that we follow Scrum or any methodology. See, we may be following Scrum quite well, but that doesn't mean that we're Agile. Okay? So Scrum is a methodology. So there are some organizations, even without following a specific methodology, they are Agile. Okay? So there are organizations, they don't have any specific methodology like Scrum or XP, but they're still Agile. So what we have to think is that Agile is a set of values and principles. Okay? We should not get bogged down too much about the methodology. So what happens is coming back to the moving my cheese. So you smell the cheese often. So when it is old, when it is getting old, you should be able to realize. So what happens is when you're following certain agile practice, when it is not giving some benefits, that means we should be able to smell it. Okay, this is the right time. What is that we are trying to do? It's not giving results. Okay, so maybe it's not wrong with the kind of methodology, but it's that there is something wrong with the values and principles what we are supposed to follow. When we are not exhibiting the real agile values and principles, then there's something we need to change. Okay? So some of the recommendations, how agile leaders can lead from top down is there has to be clear communication. Okay? So clear communication from the leaders is very, very important. Like example, the kind of language what they use. I'm glad we all agree. I'm glad we all agree. So if this kind of language is spoken by the leaders, then people can really feel that okay, leaders are leading us to the top. Okay, and creating like how we create visible information radiators for projects like rundown charts, things like that. So there has to be big visual room. Create the values on the wall, manifesto, XP values on some prominent places. So that shows sort of a commitment from the leaders. So how much they are committed for this kind of transformation. Okay. And another thing is normally we visualize our project zone. So like we use a Kanban or Kanban board to visualize how we are working in sprints. So what I am saying is don't just focus on that as a leaders. So they have to focus on how we manage our projects, application assets, how are we doing with leadership. So there should be clear visualization, how are we doing with leadership, how are we doing with financials, how are we doing with operational. So if you have all this clear visualization of all the business units, so that is one of the best ways of leading from the top. Okay? And transparent leadership. So what is the meaning of transparent leadership? See, the leadership has to be transparent. So many times the leaders are not ready to, they will not have answers for everything. But they should be able to share that with the team and try to develop a team where the team get into sort of a joint problem solving rather than just giving the, it's not that leaders should to have answers ready made everything. Even if they don't have answers, they should be ready to share and create sort of a collaborative culture to get into the right joint problem solving approach. Okay? So, like this is an example of how some standard work practices can be used. Like example, you can see each visualization of how the projects are doing with respect to project management and XP practices. So this is one way of visualization at project level, but there is a visualization even at the competency level. Like example, how many people are master, how many people are journeyman, apprentice, okay? And you can have which of the business units, how many business units have masters, how many business units have journeymans, okay, apprentice. So when you have such kind of visualization, so of various levels at the financials, operation, so that gives a very good clarity how the transformation is happening at enterprise level. Okay. So the second thing is agile leaders should start developing the transformation leadership team. So what it means? So it means that they have to provide a transformation leadership. So one of the model which I am going to discuss is a Ternos transformation model. So Ternos is a word, it's a Greek word where the Greek gods used to descend for transformation on that time. So that is called Ternos. So Ternos is more to do with the transformation. So here, the Ternos transformation model always believes in that the ability to transcend many visions into compelling shared vision across the organization is the keystone what Ternos offers to the organization. That means if organization has to transform, there has to be transformation at individual level. If there is no personal, if the individual is not transformed, they will not be able to go and transform the organization. So first the transformation should happen at the individual level. So what it talks about is every individual first should come up with a vision for himself, for his work, for his life. So how it happens is like, so I have participated in some vision labs and I have conducted vision labs. Everyone, like every project, business units, they undergo these vision labs. So all these groups, the people who are in this project, they split into multiple groups, and so these labs are very very fun-filled. I'll show some of the outputs, how they develop the vision and how the organization vision, company shared vision gets developed. So what happens is that the process goes like this. First, each and every person is supposed to analyze critically about his past. How the things have happened in his life. It could be work, it could be personal life also. So when he analyzes critically, okay, certain things I did, things did not work in certain things in my life, similar to job. So when he analyzes the past, and all this is done with very fun-filled diagrams, like they come up with some, they create pictures about the past, okay? And once they analyze the past, then they are really able to understand what is the current state, okay? What is as is state now. So when every individual comes to know, okay, today this is my life. So this is where my life because of my past. So once this is done, then he is in a clean slate mode. So when he is in clean slate mode, so he is able to paint his future picture in whichever way he wants. So then he is asked to, every individual is asked to develop a future vision. So once the individual understands the current reality, then he has to come up with, what is his future vision? Both it could be work as well as life. Once the individual comes up with a vision, he has a very clarity about how he is going to operate. So after that is done, then all these individuals join together and develop a shared vision for the organization. So what we can do as a group for the organization. So these are all done as a form of vision labs. Okay. Some of the links are given here. You can go and refer later. Okay. So what is important is we need to adapt to the change quickly. The quicker you let go of the old cheese, the sooner you can enjoy the new cheese. Okay. So here's some of the pictures. How like example, this is the personal visions of individuals. Like this is the past. Like all these things are done in a very fun-filled manner. They share about what is the past, and then they develop the future. So it's not that easy to develop, share your past. A lot of things are not worked well in our life. Sometimes we have screwed up a lot of things in our life, and it requires a lot of courage for us to share in a whole group. So what happens is when people are able to share their past and they develop the vision, they develop sort of a great trust among themselves. That is very important. That's very important for any organization to embark on the transformation. Because unless that mindset is ready, people will not be able to take the transformation very effectively. So when they have that kind of mindset where they have trust among themselves, they are free to share whatever they want. When they are able to share their past of the personal life, and when they can develop the future, they will be in a much better state. They have developed some great trust within themselves. After that, they will go and develop the shared vision. So this is a picture how, like all these pictures, these are all called influence diagrams. So everything comes in the form of storytelling. How the person will present is he just keep telling the story. So this is how using the influence diagram, so in the form of storytelling, and it's very informal, very fun-filled. Now, of course, there is some amount of expression of feelings also happens. Sometimes people cry also, okay, because a lot of things are not worked well in the past. But when they cry, a lot of things change and they become new individuals. And after that, when they are in that state of mind, then they ask to, okay, what we can do for the organization, they'll be in a much better state to think, okay, now that we are like this, we have developed a future vision for ourselves. So let's try to contribute our best for the organization. So this is an example how the whole team, so group of individuals, maybe the group of individuals were 10-15 people. So they came up with this kind of combined organizational vision. So this is very important. So this is like creating people ready for the enterprise agility transformation. So this is the kind of leadership the agile leader should see, that first to prepare the organization for transformation. Many times what's happening is we embark on the transformation without thinking much. We are not even ready. The mindset itself is not ready. When mindset is not ready, when mindset is working with a lot of distrust, lot of politics, lot of what I can say, traditional leadership style, things will not happen. So, one, the best, some of the examples I can share is the Capital One. So, you heard of Capital One? The Capital One is a bank. It's a bank, and it became number one player in the digital world to become get into digital the banking industry. And they adopted this style first. Before embarking on, they used in fact scaled agile framework for enterprise agility. But before adopting scaled agile framework, what they did is they underwent this kind of transformation exercise. So they had the multiple groups in their organizations, with business units. They all split into multiple business units, and each individual was asked to come up with his personal vision, and then as a group they came up with the shared vision. So this was led by the entire leaders. So the leaders took the initiative. So this is what is that I am talking, that as agile leaders, they have to move their cheese in this way so that the future transformation becomes easy. Okay. So the next is, as an agile leader, one has to constantly expand himself, okay, from expert achiever to the catalyst. Okay, so the leadership style is initially it starts with expert. So how an expert leader is a sort of a guy who is more focused on his expertise. He's always people respect him for his expertise. Okay, and this kind of leadership style is good only when expertise is required. But there are a lot of issues when people work under this kind of leadership style, because this guy is more task focused, more expertise focused, so he does not focus too much on developing the individuals who are working under him. So reportees who work under this kind of leaders, they don't get chance to develop themselves. So this is not a leadership style that is expected for the enterprise agility transformation. The next level of leadership is a little bit better. It is more like he is more like an achiever. Okay, so leader is more like an achiever. He is more result focused. He starts working with the team, but he always drives the team for performance. Always performance focused. It's not more focused on development of the team. So actually, what is the kind of leadership that is expected is in the 21st century is the agile leadership should be a catalyst leaders. Okay, so what does it mean? So the catalyst leaders is like they think less of themselves, they think more towards developing others. Okay, like they always believe if we develop people, people will deliver the solutions. Let's not focus too much on the solution. If we develop the capability of the people, people can deliver the solution. So they are more towards growth focused. They always constantly guide the people for and see that there is overall capability increase. Okay, and they always share the leadership, and they always very creative and adaptive. They keep adapting themselves. Okay, they are not like a ham in the Mumbai chase. So ham always ultimately become extinct. So it does not want to look for new chase. So they are always adapting when things don't work. They let go of control. They are quick to go out of things, whatever is happening, but they are quick to adapt. Okay, they don't keep the things themselves when things are not working. Okay, so some of the things that they are awareness of self is very important. So these catalyst leaders are first, they themselves are quite aware. What is our strength and weakness? Okay? And they are the constant thinkers. Okay, and so they always focus more on the change always happens. So when change happens, it is let's keep on moving the chase. So that is something they always focused. Okay, so we need more such agile leaders who demonstrate the growth mindset and catalyst habits. So to share, okay, so coming to this slide, so this is one of the ways how these are the six agility dimensions, and how and there are some actions here. There's some matrix. So we can start using this for measuring the agility at different leadership level. Like example, if you look at here, with agility expert is nothing here, because agility expert is the person who always focus on himself, so he will not be able to take care of enterprise agility or transformation effectively. But if the leader starts exhibiting as an achiever, there is some good improvement. But actually the real improvement comes, like you can see, the size of the X is big. So that is the kind of leadership style that is expected, who can provide the transformation leadership. Okay. So these catalyst leaders are always, they're not too anxious about the change. Okay. So when the uncertainty happens, they know how to deal with uncertainty without too much of fear for the change. Okay. So only when we move beyond our fear, we will feel free. So that's one of the lessons learned from the people of More My Cheese. So we have to be always free from the fear. Then only we will be able to act more freely. Okay. So to share one of the case studies here is local.ch. Local.ch is a company who discovered the agile culture. Discovering agile culture also has to happen in an iterative fashion. Like how we develop software iteratively. So the culture also has to be discovered iteratively. It cannot happen in one shot. So it's too idealistic to think about having an agile culture suddenly in one shot. So the classic example of this company, they started with a lot of chaos in the beginning, and finally they developed an effective agile manifesto or an engineering manifesto for them through multiple iterations. Okay, so initially they started with a lot of chaos like it's post-its kind of approach, but they didn't have any clarity how to develop their agile culture. So even the agile culture was developed iteratively with a lot of visualization and collaboration of all the teams. And finally they came up with effective agile culture. And when they came up with agile culture, this is the kind of language that people were using finally, like we are eager to learn, we are not easily satisfied, we are transparent, like that. So coming to that kind of language was also took a lot of time, and it was done in an iterative fashion. So that is one thing that as agile leaders we should remember, that even the agile culture also requires a lot of iterations, and it has to be discovered. It cannot happen in one shot, or there cannot be any ready-made solution. Okay? So finally, the agile leaders have to lead the change. So that's very important. Like example, the domain says, okay, it is up to you. So it very clearly says it's not enough that management comes themselves to quality and productivity. They must know what it is they must do. So it's not enough that management sets the goals, but they should know how to achieve it. Okay, it's not simply setting the goals and leaving it for the operational people to execute it. Okay, and so the responsibility cannot be delegated. Okay, so it's very clearly Dunning says that a lot of problems today is with the system. Okay, the 94% of the mistakes are caused because of poor systems. Only 6% of the problem is caused because of workers. So, and it is management who is supposed to change the system. So they have to take the lead in changing the system. So how it can happen is, if we, the John Cotter says in his book Leading Change, so they have to anchor new approaches to the culture. So how it can happen? It's like leaders and managers own habits and behaviors. That means first they have to teach the habits and behaviors to the team. So they have to be teachers. Okay, if very agile values or lean values, they have to start teaching them to the team rather than just expecting the team to exhibit that. Okay? Culture is realized in the habits of the organization. So culture cannot get transformed, so it gets transformed through the habits. So when the new habits are taught, old habits die down. Okay, so there's no point in going and changing the culture. The leader should focus on changing teaching the new habits to the people. And when the people start following the new habits, old habits dies down and culture gets transformed. So that is the best way of changing the culture. Like, changing the culture comes in the last. Okay, and try to focus on short wins. Okay, celebrate short wins when rather than thinking long-term success. When they celebrate short wins, when they taste the success, that will give a lot of knowledge for them and use that, consolidate the gains of the short wins and then produce more wins. So that's okay. So management do not have to teach to the people more because especially the enterprise agility is managed by knowledge workers. So Deming says people are already doing their best. It is a system that is flawed. Okay. So the leaders don't have to teach anything specially to the knowledge workers. They know what they have to do. So best is they should start leading the change by leading the organization with focusing on systems, how to change the systems, how to design the system, rather than teaching the people how to do the work. Okay? So because it may be true in the production side or it can be in the laborers side, maybe it can work in such industries. But knowledge industry, the knowledge workers are always like that. You don't have to teach anything special. And the Peter Drucker also says that people already know their best, what they have to do, and management need not teach anything extra to them. So they should focus more on developing the people. The people will take care of everything. Today, that's not happening in many organizations. They are always, leaders are focused on daily micromanaging, too much on task for it, other things have to be done, or whether the status is being done. That's very getting into too much micromanaging level. Okay, so that's something not expected. Set the goal, empower the team, leave it to the team. How they execute, don't worry too much. Do they execute the goal? Try to challenge them with that. Okay, that's the best way of managing. Develop the capability that people will take care of it. Okay, so some of the organizations, what it takes to be leading a change, kind of language what people use, like the Capital One CEO Rob Alexander, when he was interviewed, he said we focused the pilots on digital capabilities and we soon expanded beyond that. So this is how they moved to the enterprise agility. And like Philip Engster of Local said, we live agile culture. And John Deere is one of the organizations which moved from traditional to the waterfall to agile and then scaled agile. They scaled their agile practices at enterprise level. So this also, like Susan Morrison said, it was also a big project to think about refactoring the entire organization so that testers are collocated with developers. But it was clearly the right thing to do for the business. It was clearly the right thing to do the business. That's why they have to do this. So that's it. So the conclusion: life is like a maze of passages through which we must find our way. But always, if we have faith, God will open a door for us. Not necessarily one that we ourselves would have ever thought of, perhaps, but one that will ultimately prove and work out to be good for us. That's it. Thank you very much. The time for question and answer. I think we have some time at the end where all the speakers will be. We have open house, so you can share your questions in open house so that the next speaker can start. I have one quick question. We can take it in 1 minute. Yeah. Go ahead.
You know, this transformation leadership workshops that you conduct, is it possible to actually think through that? I mean, the idea of those workshops, I believe, is to
No, no.
Aesthetic and
No, you can't fake. That's the best part of the workshop is that your reality will come out there. So the true individual will get exposed there. So see, only when we are true to ourselves, we will be able to do any future transformation effectively. So it exposes a lot of blind spots also in the lab. Normally, there are certain things we don't know that we don't know. We will come to know that. Certain blind spots also in those labs. And have personal experience and even led some labs like that. They're very effective. Very effective. And it is not like, like it is done everything in 2 hours, 3 hours. It's like almost 1 day, 2 days. People have to really analyze their past and come up to the clean slate. Okay, so if you have any questions still, we can take it in the open house. Thank you very much.